Last week in CAW, the United States champion Bruiser Jones avenged an early season loss against Mr. Nice Guy with the world champion Big Bad Brad watching at ringside. The two will face each other at Judgement Day for the world title. At the end of the night during the celebration though, it was Big Bad Brad who hit a chair shot onto Bruiser Jones. And tonight, we will have a number one contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship between Koa Cruz and Delano Anderson. The winner will face Isaiah Hawkins at Judgment Day. And in the main event, we will have a United States Championship match where Bruiser Jones defends his title against Hollywood Blake Austin. Alright, we are back with the May 24th edition of Friday Night SmackDown here in CAW. This episode is going to take place in Italy. And as you guys can see, we've got 6 events lined up. So 5 matches and then the main event all lined up and ready to go. Not having any voids on this card. Starting off with Blake Austin and Chris Classic. This is starting off with a backstage brawl. Neither of these guys were expected to meet up like this, but they have been in a rivalry over the past 2 months, and Blake Austin has been dominating to the point that you couldn't even recognize Chris Classic even if you were a main viewer of the show. His popularity is down to a 0. Blake Austin is all the way up almost to a 40 in his popularity, and with the win right here, this will just kind of be the nail in the coffin. Blake Austin has been announced to be in a United States Championship match in the main event. So he's just trying to get rid of Chris Classic once and for all and end everything right here. Chris Classic, good luck, buddy. And Blake Austin, just like the previous weeks, again comes out on top. He puts an end to Chris Classic here, an end to their rivalry, because right now Blake Austin doesn't feel the need to be involved with someone like Chris Classic anymore. He is moving on to bigger and better things. Again, he has a title match later on tonight, so we'll look out for that as the show goes on. Match number 2 is going to be Billy Spade versus Azrael. Billy Spade had the week off last week. He's been in a rivalry with Bruiser Jones, but over the past few weeks, he's been kind of straying away from that as Bruiser Jones focuses on his world title match against Big Bad Brad. Azrael, on the other hand, has had an up and down season, last week losing a crazy upset against Delano Anderson. Azrael hopes to get back in the winning column, back to getting some momentum, because that loss did kind of take away quite a bit from him. Billy Spade versus Azrael. Both guys desperately need a victory here. And Billy Spade picks up a victory over Azrael, the monster Azrael. So huge win over Billy Spade, probably the biggest win of his season so far. Good win for him. All right, next up, we're going to get a lot of action coming in here. Elimination tag team match between Chris Classic. This was his actually scheduled match. Again, that earlier one was a backstage brawl where we weren't really expecting that. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and things happened. And we have Kyle Ryder teaming up with Chris Classic. Kyle Ryder hasn't had the best few weeks. Again, his brother is on top of the world, so he's kind of like falling into that shadow, really deep into that shadow, as his brother holds every single title on Raw. And then they are facing the Cruiserweight champion, Isaiah Hawkins, who just took not a major loss, but it was a very big match, and he lost to Hollywood Blake Austin last week. And then we have Raphael teaming up with Isaiah Hawkins. Raphael last week took on the challenge of Bo Williams in that submission match. Was not able to come out and get the victory, but that is okay. That was just his debut match. So today he gets to team up with the Cruiserweight champion, the top guy in his division, as they take on 2 decent opponents. I'm not going to say they're the best, but we'll see how this turns out. Isaiah and Raphael, Chris Classic, Kyle Ryder. And Chris Classic and Kyle Ryder somehow take the victory here over Isaiah Hawkins and Raphael. Wow, what an upset. I was not expecting that right there. But that's actually pretty good for Chris Classic because now he can actually start building up some momentum because he has been down in the dumps for quite some time. Kyle Ryder doing his thing. You know, he's going to find a way at some point. I mean, his brother is in the genetics, right? The genetics. All right, so this match right here, Koa Cruz versus Delano Anderson. This is a number 1 contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship. That match will happen at Judgment Day this coming Sunday. All right, so Koa Cruz versus Delano Anderson. Both of these guys picked up pretty big victories last week. Koa over Kyle Ryder, Delano over Azrael, and both of these guys have proved that they deserve to have a shot at Judgment Day, but who will be the one to walk out as the number 1 contender? Koa Cruz, Delano Anderson, and Koa Cruz wins this match, and he will advance on to face Isaiah Hawkins at Judgment Day for the Cruiserweight Championship. These two are going to have a crazy match. I don't know what match they're going to be in, but we will find out once Judgment Day comes around. And would you look at this? Bo Williams calls out Mr. Nice Guy. A few weeks ago, Bo Williams was embarrassed by Mr. Nice Guy. It was his first match as a heel. He made that turn against Mr. Nice Guy, and Mr. Nice Guy still put Bo Williams to shame. Last week, Bo Williams set out a challenge for anybody that thinks they could take him on in a submission match. Raphael came out. Bo Williams did his thing, won the match. But now he thinks that he can do even better by beating the guy that beat him a few weeks ago. Now we're playing under Bo Williams rules. All right, so submission match, Bo Williams, Mr. Nice Guy, two very tough competitors. Let's see who comes out on top here. And Mr. Nice Guy still takes this one away from Bo Williams. Huge victory by Mr. Nice Guy, making Bo Williams tap out. This is going to hurt the ego of our guy, Bo Williams. All right, we're moving into the main event. Again, this is a match that we've been waiting for. We have Bruiser Jones versus the red hot Blake Austin. And we'll have Big Bad Brad out here on commentary. Obviously, he is going to be in support of Blake Austin. Okay, so again, we got Bruiser Jones, Blake Austin, United States Championship. This is going to be one crazy match. And again, we're going to hop right in. So let's go check this out. Bruiser Jones, Blake Austin, United States Championship. Let's go. Here we go. United States Championship match. Bruiser Jones, Hollywood, Blake Austin. Hardcore match. And Bruiser raises him up. Powerbomb. Brings him right back up. Spins around. He's taking him for a spin. Powerbomb. Pulling his arm right down to the mat. He throws him over the ring ropes and onto the concrete floor. Hollywood Blake Austin looks like he's making a return here, making a comeback. These two are grappling, showing their skills. Clothesline by Bruiser Jones. And he hits him with the sledgehammer. He lifts him up and slams him right down onto the steel chair. Bruiser, he's going for his finisher. And he cracks Hollywood's head right off of the back of the chair. Snaps him down, backbreaker. And Bruiser with the chair shot. He's going for his finisher once more. And it's a direct shot right onto the steel chair. He goes for the pin. 1, 2. But Blake Austin with the kick out. 2 finishers. He just slammed him with a chair. Big Bad Brad can't believe it. 1, 2, 3. Bruiser Jones retains the United States Championship. Wow, what a match for Bruiser Jones right here in front of Big Bad Brad once again. He defeats another opponent, this time while defending the United States Championship. Bruiser Jones has to be the hottest superstar in CAWs SmackDown right now, taking on every challenge, and the only one that stands in his way for the world title is Big Bad Brad. These two will compete for the World Heavyweight Championship on Sunday at Judgment Day. But who will walk out as champion? Will Bruiser Jones walk out as a duo champion? We'll soon find out. All right, as you guys see, we have a 1-star show, and then we also gained 100,000 fans. So for the second week in a row, we were able to win the show versus show rating wars against Raw, which is huge because we were losing like the first 5 weeks. So now that we're 2 weeks in of winning, that's awesome. And then we also have Judgment Day coming up in the next episode, and Raw doesn't have an episode to combat against that. So we have a really good shot at surpassing Raw after Judgment Day. So yeah, that's the news there for Judgment Day. There's a new champion. The champion's name is Tank. So Tank has beaten Ray Ryder for the Intercontinental Championship. Wow, what a victory for him. Huge title change there. Eventually it was going to happen. Ray Ryder was going to hold all the belts for the entire season. And then look at this, Bruiser Jones, our United States champion, the man that's going to face Big Bad Brad for the world title with a chance to become a multi-title holder, a guy that's holding duo belts. Gets injured, but it's not too bad. All right, it's just a minor injury. You just got to watch out for it. However, I do think that the match that they have at Judgment Day is going to be pretty hellacious. So we're going to see if he can get through that match and stay healthy. That's the biggest thing for him here. They talk about the United States Championship remaining with Bruiser Jones. Huge victory for him over Blake Austin. And then they bring up Koa Cruz and his victory over Delano Anderson to become the #1 contender for Isaiah Hawkins' Cruiserweight Championship at Judgment Day. All right, and then when we look at Raw, their show was a half-star. Again, they had one vacant slot on their show. Triple threat between Rachel, Casey Jackson, and Joel Udo. Rachel ends up winning that match. Good win for her. Super Dude with Jamal Curry versus Dr. Walters and Hannah. Again, Super Dude has been struggling against Dr. Walters for the past few weeks. And then we got Zach Frost over Lisa Lee. Good win for Zach Frost. Lisa Lee is the women's champion, and she is one of the top stars on this brand. So Zach Frost getting a really nice victory over her. Then we've got Gladiator facing Ricky Nash in a parking lot brawl. Gladiator's not the type of guy you want to get into that type of match with because he is an animal. He is a beast. He will use whatever he can to destroy you, and that's exactly what he did to Ricky Nash. And then we had a tables match with Ray Ryder and Tank. Ray Ryder has been on top of the world with all the title belts, but it's Tank that takes away the Intercontinental Championship. I wonder what's going to happen with the WWE Championship as the weeks go on. Maybe they try to combat the rating spike that we'll have with a WWE title match on the next episode of Raw. All right, when we look at our roster, we finally have a few guys that have broken into the top, into the 40s with Bruiser Jones and Blake Austin. Our world champion, Big Bad Brad, is there at 37. Mr. Nice Guy, Koa Cruz, round off our top 5 here. And then there's Chris Classic, who bumps up to 2 popularity after his awesome win with Kyle Ryder. When we look at the Power 25, Bruiser Jones takes over Ray Ryder as the #1 individual in the CAW Power 25. Bruiser Jones defended his title. Ray Ryder did not, so that is why they did the little flip. Blake Austin stays at number 3. Big Bad Brad stays at number 4. And then rounding up the top 5 is the new Intercontinental Champion Tank. When we look at SmackDown, the top 5 guys, Bruiser Jones, Blake Austin, Big Bad Brad, Koa Cruz, and then Mr. Nice Guy slides his way into the top 5. When we look at 6 through 10, this is who we've got. Bo, Azrael, Hawkins, Anderson, Kyle Ryder, and then the remaining 3 are down here at the bottom. Now let's look over at Raw. Again, the number 1 guy, Ray Ryder, he still holds 2 titles in the World Tag Team title and the World or the WWE Championship. Tank is the Intercontinental Champion. Hannah slides up to number 3. Wow, really big for her. Dr. Walters has been on a roll these past few weeks. He's up to 4. Then there's Zach Frost. 6 through 10, we've got Rachel, Lisa Lee, Gladiator, Casey Jackson, who is all the way up to a number 3. Drops to 9, which is crazy. Huge drop. That might be the biggest drop I've seen so far this season. Sasuke is down to a 10. And yeah, this is everybody here on Raw. Let's look at this fan support. You see how the colors are kind of closing in a little bit. Red is getting pretty close to the blue. We are at 4,820,000 fans. Raw is at 5,180,000 fans. I honestly think that this next episode we are going to surpass Raw and finally take our first lead. If not, we might be like within 10,000, 20,000 fans. So we're really closing in on these guys. And again, this is a really big show that we've got for Judgment Day. Again, we're going to for sure have the world title match between Big Bad Brad and Bruiser Jones. We are going to for sure have Isaiah Hawkins versus Koa Cruz. And yep, the next episode will be Judgment Day. Now, if you watched this entire episode and you enjoyed it, you watched any of the episodes on this series and you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button and follow along. This next episode, Judgment Day, is our first pay-per-view. Every single match is going to be hopped in on. We're going to watch the highlights for every single one. So stay tuned for that and watch us surpass Raw, because I think that's what's going to happen, and I hope that's what's going to happen. All right, but I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.